Alright, so today we are working on the C7 Z07. We're going to be removing the stage 3 arrow that comes on the C7 and be installing. We'll have to remove the bumper as well, and then we'll put the bracing, the frame bracing, and install the Weapon X high wing spoiler, the XL version, which actually comes out a little bit further than the standard ZR1 wing for the ZR1. And the whole point of this is I'm trying to get some more efficient aerodynamics. So I want to get the downforce, but I don't want all the drag that's associated with creating that downforce, which is what this severely limits the higher speeds on the Z06s that have the Z07 package. I mean, it does work for handling. It ends up putting a lot of the downforce right about here over the wheels, but in the process it catches air. It's basically a parachute. So what I want to do is just get a little more efficient aerodynamics that has a lower aero to drag ratio. So that's what we're going to be doing. So the first thing is you take a Torx, what is this one, T20. So most of the bits are going to be T15s, but T20 here on the stage 3 aero. So I don't want to use my impact gun right away on this. I don't want to harm anything, so I will just be gluing with a little 1/4 inch and getting in there and just loosening them up quickly. I'm just going to go to each one. And then I will remove them. Oh, that is a different size. I'm just going crazy, that's all. I have to open up the back here for a little bit. Alright. These are larger. So the first ones are T20s.
Take off the bumper, Daddy.
Yes, I'm going to try to take off the bumper. Here's my T20s. Thanks for the help, son. Alright, that's enough, seriously.
I'll take this off.
Alright, so I'm going to take you in really quick. These are T20s, but then there's a larger ones here.
Oh, I see a crack.
Have to do. Let me see if these are T.
See a crack, Daddy, over here.
Well, be careful, son. T30. Alright, so what I wanted to show you is, first of all, you want to use a nylon type tool. You do not want to use a screwdriver on this. You will scratch this thing up so bad. But as you begin to separate it, you need to put that tool in there and get all of, if you can see, there's all that 3M kind of adhesive double-sided tape that you have to get through. So that's what I'm doing here. Just trying to get my way through it. Once it comes all the way, we should be able to pop this one off and move to the other side. Alright, so the next step is to remove this trim piece here. So it is held on by these clips. Again, using a nylon tool will help a lot more at keeping the paint nice than if you're using a metal tool. However, these go straight out, so it should be, just take note of that. Yeah, you can see that. So take a look there. You want to go straight out while you pry with these, and it should come out with hopefully little effort. All right, so now that that's out, you can see here, bring in right here, you've got these T15s all the way across. So we're gonna get rid of those next. All right, now that that is done, you'll see we have all of those holes out, and we're ready to go underneath. And what we're looking for are these 7mm bolts here. We're going to remove, I believe there's 10 of them, and then we'll pop out the mud flat back there, and there should be 2 more on each side, T15s. So there's 7mm underneath. That's what we're going to go with right now. All right, so let me bring you in here. The next place we're going, I don't know if you can see in there, we are going to remove 2 10mm right there and right there. These just come off, they're just regular standard clips, so you should be able to pop these out. And the reason, well, let me make sure I got them all out. Yeah, okay. Come on. And these last ones are... Oh, that's not good, huh? Why won't you come out of there? What we're having a problem with. Anyway, I want to get in there and get those T15s out. Alright, so I found one of the 3 is a right angle tool, and that seems to be perfect for this side. So it's a little scary, I'm not gonna lie, but what you want to do is get it secured and give it a good yank, and that will pop it out. And then from there, you just kind of have to finagle this out. It's a lot easier to do with 2 hands, but it will come out. It is definitely I hate plastics so much, but there you go. All right, so we've got those out. We're getting there now. I'm assuming, I'm gonna have to find out, but I think this probably bolts down from underneath, so I'll have to take the bumper off, then unbolt it. Then I'm sure there's plenty of that damn epoxy or tape to take off, so that'll be a lot of fun with the bumper off. But here's what I've done so far with, just to kind of keep things organized. Just label the bags, really simple. So you can see the bracket behind the light assembly, there's 1 each T15s, so times 2. You got bottom bumper piece, 10 7mm and 2 10mm. Under the top trim piece and the weather stripping, that has 10 T15s. Inner fender has 2 each on each side, and I think those are, yeah, those are T15s also, I believe. And then you've got the arrow, which is 6 T15s and 4 T30s on the clear whip wheel. We are almost ready to pull this thing apart. Alright, so I think we're ready for the moment of truth. I'm going to give this a shot. Got everything off that I can see that I need to get off, and it looks like this is ready to come. Geez, I don't know. Yeah, it looks like you just pull this puppy. Oh yeah, that's how you do it. Okay, so you got these red clips that it just has to pop off of. Whew! Man, it scares the hell out of you. No matter what. Gosh. All right, it looks like there's a, oh, this connector is actually disconnected. What the hell? Oh, okay. I disconnected it. That's it. Yeah. Okay. So there's my antenna. I have to relocate that based on the new ZR1 bracket. Let's make sure this is clear before we keep going. Yeah, it's missing that clip. That's why you didn't want to come off. Okay. All right, I can already see there's a couple. Well, are you gonna come out or no? I thought this was clear. All right, so I got that off there, but as you can see, there's still one thing left. Looks like the trunk release right here, and that's down here, and I didn't realize it, but there's a pop rivet here. I'm going to remove that pop rivet, and I'm hoping I can slide this out once I've done that. Everything else, you can see that secondary, that that's the connector I was messing with there. And then this big guy here, this actually was a lot easier. I don't know why, it came right off as soon as I turned the camera off. That one did require me to grab a pair of pliers to push down hard enough to get it off. This, I removed this bumper brace because it was also, it had that small little plug on the bottom, and I couldn't get it off there for whatever reason. So it's just two 10 millimeters nuts, and they come off, and as you can see, I need to get to that anyway. So I just got that out of there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that little pop rivet out. Hopefully that'll remove this, and then this will be excuse me, this will be completely free. Yeah, don't mind me, guys. Terrible pollen right now. Obviously the car is covered, so I'm just trying to get this done. It's actually only taken about 45 minutes so far, so not too bad. All right, and there it is. This is where I'm going to stop for today. Actually, so total operation was about 45 minutes, like I said. And I got stopped twice, so this is not difficult, but it sure as heck looks intimidating. You know, a $100,000 car, and we're sitting here. Well, then again, there's my Viper, and look what I did to that poor thing right now. So she's gonna get a beautiful paint correction after this is over. But long story short, this is done. Not that hard. I think it's really cool. Hey, got the coolers and the air ducting coming right back here and on the other side of the car. So a note about this guy right here. I know I showed it to you, but yeah, you just want to pop the pop rivet that goes through the top, and then it slides out, and you'll be able to remove it without damaging it. Again, it's connected to this plug right here, so I went ahead and I just took that whole assembly out because I'm going to need it to get through here. So this is all. I'm going to stop here for today and just clean up. Tomorrow morning I'll start digging into the additional items that I need to remove, relocate, and get to work on the ZR1 install. ZR1 frame mount install. Alright, good morning, guys. Gonna pick up where I left off yesterday. So yesterday in about 45 minutes was able to get the bumper off. Taking a look this morning, just kind of taking it all in and what I have here and what I have to work with. A couple things I'm noting is I've got a different bracket for the ZR1. The OEM ZR1 part is right here, and I'm going to list all these parts. But so it appears that this piece, interestingly enough, this piece goes down in here. And it looks to me that this right here lines up with that rivet above this right here. Okay, so the problem is with the old bracket versus the new bracket. I've got, as you can see right here, I've got this little spacer that helps the main support, which is there. Okay, helps that attach, so you have support from the bottom all the way to the top, because the bottom is going to. I just realized that I'm going to have to remove this plastic cover, bumper support. Modify and or remove sections of this. I need to take a look at it. I'll line it up. But in order for that to attach here, you know, in line with this, so attach down here and support all the way to the top, I need to, if I keep this bracket, and I'm thinking I might, because oh my gosh, I think that this is not, yeah, I can see it. You can probably see right there. It's got some epoxy in there. Yeah, look at this all the way down. That thing's epoxied in place. And I've got what appears to be a bolt with no head and blue Loctite and a nut. My guess is that's not going to come out. Not without some serious considerable effort. So what I might do is drill these out and just put a spacer that's the same size. I'll have to measure this. This looks about like 1.5 to 2 inches. But a spacer that would be that distance, so that I can take this piece. It's actually not heavy, guys. Take this piece, line it up the correct way, and just bolt it on without actually putting on the OEM ZR1 bracket, because I think that's the only thing I need that for. Something else I just noticed when I put this in place. Okay, so once you put this in place, what do you see? The antenna bracket on both sides is directly in the way of this. Alright, so I decided not to cut. I started cutting into the bumper reinforcement and realized, you know, it might sneak in behind it. So before I go crazy and cut everything, I'm going to take a look. Now mine's a 2015 Z06, Z07 package, and mine does not have the additional holes that would come with the ZR1 support. Later models do have it, so I think 18 or 19 may have it, but my 15 does not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove these. I think those are just 10mm bolts also. Again, those are just 4 10mm bolts on the support. And I'll pop these off, get them out of the way, and line this up and see where I need to drill some holes to make this fit. Alright guys, I'm super indecisive about this. So here's what I tried to do. I grabbed the impact and I said, you know what, let me try to get rid of these brackets before I go crazy. These I did not think were going to come off because of what's behind there. But instead of spinning, they came right off with an impact. So use an impact and boom, 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 these 4 will come off. Now I just have to drill out these rivets, unplug these Christmas trees here, no problem, and then figure out if I can, without damaging this, get this freaking epoxy shit off there. I probably can. So I think that's what I'm going to do. This way I can install the right bracket and just do the right thing from the start. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll probably, you know, I still have to relocate the antenna, so I'll worry about that as well. But yeah, that's what I got going on. Okay, so I removed the first side of the 2 brackets, and how I did it is I took a chisel, because my battery's dead in my drill. You want to drill these out, but I didn't have that, so I took a chisel on this side, just boop, pop these 2 off, and then there's a boatload of this epoxy along here, and you can see it. That is not going to budge, okay? You'll be able to pull that off with your hands, no problem. This sucker, unfortunately, there's no way in hell you're doing that unless you were lucky enough not to get the metal behind it. I took a chisel here and just chiseled all this out. Unfortunately, I lost 1 clip in the process, and that was just negligence. That's my fault. I wasn't, I love this little area. I wasn't paying attention, and I had the handle of the chisel here, and I hit it, and it just boop, popped that right off. So be careful, be mindful of these. That was my mistake. I have a plastic welder. I don't know if it's even needed. It depends. I hate rattles, so we'll see. But anyway, I'm gonna get ready to get started on this side, and then we should have a clean slate to install the new bracket. Alright, so I got the bracket back on. And then I've got the wing bracket just kind of positioned here, just trying to take a look at what's, you know, making sure that my center line is good. And then also, you know, realizing, okay, I had to fish this through this side. That is for the trunk release. Gonna have to figure out where these Christmas trees are gonna go. I'll just probably drill a hole and slide it in there. Also the antennas. So I don't really have a lot of play here to figure this out. So there's going to be some custom modification here on these guys. I think I can get it. I just I just currently don't have it figured out, so I'm gonna have to see how that's all gonna work. And then lastly, you see right back here, this is where the antenna mount was, and that is only half in that hole, and it's not, let me get this out of the way, it's not even, you know, it's just in the way on this side. So I'm going to have to grind that out most likely. So I'm going to have to grind part of this off. Gosh darn it. Either that or yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I need to play with the idea for a second and see what I can do. And then I'll come on back. These guys right here, these are the GM number 116-01873. They are going to fit down in these holes that I am drilling right now and tapping. So I'm going to drill these holes, tap them, and I should be able to screw this down. I ground this down on the side and then realized where this sits. It actually looks like it sits up off of it to line up these holes anyway. If you push that all the way in, it kind of throws everything out of alignment. So looks like I didn't really need to mess with that. So I am going to leave that side and drill these out and secure it with this bolt. I mean, this thing's already, it's not going anywhere. Pretty impressed, but I'll just put those in just to have all of the mounting locations knocked out. But we'll be back. All right, guys, so I looked up the part number for this bolt, for the 4 outer bracket bolts, and you know, initially it said M10, and I'm like, that does not look like an M10, it looks like an M8. It is an M8. I grabbed my tap and die set. It's an M8 1.25 thread pitch, and so typically you'd want to use a 17/64 drill bit for that. I don't know where the heck mine went to, so I'm going to use a 15/64 drill bit, and then I'm going to tap these holes, okay, and then I should be able to screw these down, and this baby will be ready to go. I'm going to button this down, create some holes for these, and then I just got to figure out where I'm going to put my 2 antenna pieces. I might try to hang them off the sides of that. I don't know yet, because it looks like you might be able to get through there. And yeah, that is going to do it. And then I just need to mount the small top brackets that will, well, I don't know if they protrude. Yeah, they should protrude up a little bit from the body wing when I mount the spoiler. So that'll be the last thing I do, make sure this is level, tighten her down, and then I'm going to go upstairs with the bumper and have to remove the stage 3 arrow and sand, prime, and paint. Well, it's already primed, so I'm just going to scuff rather the body wing, and then I'm going to paint it carbon flash metallic because my carbon fiber has been painted carbon flash metallic, and then I should be good to go and ready to rock, and I'll start buttoning this thing up. So not too bad, a little bit of fabrication and a little bit of elbow grease at the bottom here, but everything else is pretty straightforward. All right, guys, so I didn't want to, I broke my tripod for the GoPro, so I'm just holding it. That's why I wasn't able to do this, just set it down and let you see me do it. But long story short, with the tap and dive, you've never used them, it's really simple once you get it started. So, but you need to make sure you get it started nice and dead on, straight in, not at an angle, or they're gonna have issues. Once it bites, you should be able to just turn that puppy all the way in there, and there you go. I mean, that's pretty much it. And I'll come back out, and there's not a lot to this, so there's not going to be a lot of bite, so you got to be careful about pulling threads. But we're just cleaning it up now, and that should be it. So I'm just going to do that to the other 3 holes, and hopefully we're good to go. All right, guys, so little update. I have secured everything at this point. Okay, so I've tapped new holes there, put in the 4 bolts from GM. I gave you the numbers. I'll give you all the numbers in the description. But bracket is secure. This thing not moving without taking half the car with it. All right, guys, so for this I brought the bumper inside, the bumper cover, and yeah, I just got another part of the stage 3 arrow off the body spoiler. 3rd brake light is here, and it looks like we got some 7mm bolts to pop out. And once we get those off, I think we'll be able to get this last piece. Oh, that's totally upside down. Oh my gosh. All right, so again, body spoiler is off. That's held on by 10 millimeter nuts. You get those off, and then the most difficult part is right here. You gotta kind of, again, I took a nylon tool. I took just a nylon tool, pried between it, and just kind of squished this down. I also have a heat gun that I ended up not using. I was able to get this kind of off like this. Now I'm gonna probably take some IPA and wipe this down, or some Goo Gone, something solvent based that will wear through that, because I need to clean this up before I get ready to install the new body spoiler. Okay guys, don't mind the mess in here. It's a freaking mess, but anyway, we got the third brake light off, and the body wing off. I told you about the 7 millimeter bolts and the 10 millimeter. I gave this a very quick, there was tons of glue residue, double-sided tape still left there, and dirt. So I just gave it a quick detail wipe. You can see probably the marring of it, and I'll get it in there. So that's the marring from the nylon tool. Most of that you're not going to see. If anything, you're probably not going to see any of it. But I'm a little bit, I don't know, I'm a little bit OCD about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick paint correction on this. I can do paint correction. So I'm just going to do a really quick paint correction to get these surface marring scratches off from the nylon tool and the residue, whatever little bit of residue is left, and get that off. So this is nice and fresh start for when I position the body wing. And once I get the body wing on there, the intention is to see if I need to drill any additional holes. I may. There's only 9 here, and I think the kit came with 10 bolts for the new body wing. So again, there's no instructions. I'm doing this as I'm kind of figuring it out as I go. But I have a feeling that I'll have to drill at least one more hole, and then also, again, I'll have to figure out to locate where the holes are for the stanchion brackets, because they have to fit through this, obviously. So that'll be the next step. I'm probably going to just take a break for tonight, or maybe get started on the polishing. I'm going to do it with a small DA, and this way I might even just bring it up here into this bonus room. And God, man, I got to really clean this. I changed the light bulb the other day and left that up there. I got a big mess in the corner. I just swapped out one of my processors for a different type of processor. I've got, there's parts there, the miscellaneous bolts and stuff for the install. All right, guys. So I got all the glue and everything off, and I took honestly, it took between 5 and 10 minutes. I'm not exactly sure, but it was not long at all. And all I did was I took my small random orbital polisher and some Wolfgang swirl and scratch remover. I was going to use the Sonax Perfect Finish, but I didn't think that we'd ever see this again. And to be quite honest, look at the Wolfgang came out beautiful with just a very mild low setting, no pressure, but it pulled everything off. Looks like there's a defect here from the factory, but just came out beautiful. I mean, honestly, it almost looks brand new again. So now I can't seem to catch a break. This project's a lot bigger than a lot larger of a project than you might think it'd be. So here's the ZR1 body wing, and it comes primed. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get in here, my bag of tricks over here. I've got my Scotch-Brite Ultra Fine hand pad. I'm going to scuff that thing up, and then I've bought the AC Delco Carbon Flash Metallic, and I'm going to paint it. Instead of doing it the body color, I'm going to do it Carbon Flash like the rest of my trim, and a 2K clear coat over the top of that, and then get this thing on. I can already tell that I'm going to have to take this out altogether. There's nothing easy about where this is going to go. I got to get this precisely right. So I have to tape this baby in place, and I don't see how this is going to work out very well. These holes don't line up pretty much at all. So we will be making all new holes And then I have to come in here and carve this out so that the stanchion brackets can come through. And yeah, I mean, if you notice, it doesn't go all the way either. This is a really narrow body wing. I don't know if I should try to come to the edge here and leave some. No, I can't. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think this one through, guys. This one's not gonna be as easy as I thought. What a pain in the ass, actually. But it'll be all right. We'll get it done. I'm figuring I'm gonna spend an hour just kind of getting this right and marking the holes. I'll cut everything tonight. Then tomorrow I'll paint this, and then hopefully start putting everything back together on Friday. That's the plan. Friday evening, starting to put everything back together. Finish hopefully Saturday. Get the wing mounted, and I'll have a finished product to show everybody. All right. Okay, so what we've done is we've cut out all the holes. We've made the alignment marks here for the stanchion brackets to pop through. This is for the brake light, the new brake light plug. And where I am at is we're going to solder in the new plug. So this is the old plug right here from my Z06 third brake light and reverse light, I guess. And this will not mate up to the new brake light. If I can grab it. So I've got the actual. Come on. All right, I'm not going to pry it off there, but you'll have to take my word for it. This plug does not mate up to this one. So that is why, and I've listed in my parts list, this is the AC Delco pigtail that I'm going to be soldering into this wiring harness. So basically what I'm going to do is just peel this back a little bit, pull that electrical tape off, cut wire strip, and I will solder the new wires on with some shrink wrap, and we will be good to go, and we'll be able to move on to the next step, which will be to... All right, guys, so I am ready to install the body spoiler. I've got all my, I don't know if you can see that, but I've got all the painting done. I still, my hand marks are all over this thing right now, so I will have to clean that up, but it is all ready to go. I've drilled my marks and drilled my holes and made my slants. I have spliced in the new third brake light / reverse light, and as you can see, it's right up here. Now for these clips, try to do this with some lighting here. All right, can you stay? Okay. For these guys right here, GM or the Weapon X kit supplies you with these little inserts here, and these inserts, once you pull this down, you just slide these. Oh shit! You just slide those in, push them in, push pin in, and they'll lock in and lock this in place. I have also, because what you notice here, thing to take notice is once you remove the Z06 assembly for the third brake light and this bracket that's just kind of glued on, you can pull it right off there. You end up with no place to secure 4 bolts. So what I did is I went to the hardware store, where I went to Lowe's. Probably shouldn't do free plugs, but when I picked up a couple of mending plates, okay, some 2-inch and 3-inch mending plates, lined them up, and just drilled the holes out so that they will essentially bridge the gap, right? So I take this and it's going to bridge the gap, boom, just like that. And now when I put the 10mm nut on there, is it 10? It might be 8, I don't remember. But when I put that nut on there, it'll draw it down to the bumper. All right, and so now we'll have a much more secure body spoiler instead of just relying on the outer ones and these clips. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that now. It should only take about 5 minutes to bolt this sucker down. And I'm excited to be done with this part of the project and be able to get back into the garage and move on to final fitment and assembly. So can't wait for that. But finally done with the painting and the wet sanding and the polishing and all that shit is done. So we're good to go. Okay guys, so that was about 10 minutes. What I did, lined up those brackets, tightened them down some, and then if you hadn't, you don't have to take this step, but I took the brake lights out. It made life a lot easier to get to these because you have to adjust them. So what will happen is the ZR1 body spoiler is thinner than the Z06 body spoiler. So when you actually go to install it, you're going to have bolt holes that are exposed. Here, let me show you. You'll have bolt holes that are exposed on the ends here. Okay, so they will show up in here. So what you have to do is you have to slot this last hole and slot this hole and push this down further, and then get in here and tighten down with the 10mm that nut. So it makes it a lot easier if you just remove the 4 7mm bolts that are holding that brake light on, pop that off, takes 2 seconds, and then adjust and tighten everything back down. And I work from the outside in to get a good fit. All right, guys. So today is finally the day, I hope. I've got my parts sitting out here. I have test fitted the wing. I'll have to put some photos up because I don't think I have video of it. I did a lot of stopping and starting of the videos, and there's some things I just missed with the video. Last night I brought the bumper down, test fitted on, left for the night. Well, I didn't even test fit. I just kind of rested it on there and left for the night. This morning with coffee, I started thinking, man, you know, there is a rake. There's already a rake angle built into the wing, the Weapon X wing. But I think I want to get a little additional rake angle, and the only adjustability for that rake angle is here underneath the damn bumper, which is really a negative. But that's kind of, you know, that's the OEM ZR1 stanchion mount, the stanchion brackets. That's where they are. So that's the only place I can adjust it. So what I've done is I've loosened these up again, which sucks because now I'm gonna have to go through this whole process all over of aligning everything. But what I'm going to do is, as you can see, I've kind of increased this rake angle already, but I don't know if I need that much, but I am going to create a rake angle and I'm going to duplicate it on the other side. Then I have to test fit the damn wing all over again and make sure I have the same clearance. Then I'll tighten everything up, take the wing back off, and start test fitting the bumper to make sure that all of this is going to work. And then hopefully this afternoon, I've got myself a complete car once again. So very excited. I mean, honestly, if you're just to do this project start to finish, it's going to take you a few days without stopping. If you took full days into it, I would say a minimum of 3 days, because if you're going to paint, sand, wet sand, and polish the body spoiler that comes with the kit, you got to wait 24 hours in between the spray time and the sanding time anyway. So you got some time on your hands. So this is definitely a minimum 3-day project, I would say. For me, anyway, I'm gonna get to work on this. Hopefully this won't take more than 10 minutes to get the measurements correct, and then probably another 20 minutes to half an hour for the wing. Then we start working on the bumper. All right, I'll be back. Okay guys, after about another 15 minutes of playing around with it, I think I've gotten the best compromise I can make for it. I don't know if you can see. Oh yeah, this is plenty wide angle. Get a little closer. That is where I am with the rake now. Looks pretty good. Minimal clearance. Minimal clearance. There it is. Not for the faint of heart, guys. At minimal clearance. Minimal clearance. But it will go. No issues. So, okay guys, so I have got the bumper test fit here. I was able to, this was the most difficult part. At the bottom clips on each side don't want to line up very well because you have to try to get these things over this hump. It's funny because some people have these sitting higher than mine. I use the actual ZR1 bracket, and mine sits a little bit lower. But the next thing, so what I did is I took the 10 T15s, I put them in after I've got this kind of put together. I'm gonna have to obviously do some final fitment here, but it looks pretty good. I have not put the fasteners back here. behind each light. And I have not put any on the bottom yet, other than the two 10mm down there. You see the one, I think you can see them, one there and one there. I put those in just so we can hold the bumper in place and relatively where it's going to sit. And now I'm going to retest fit the spoiler and make sure that we're in good shape before I finally button everything up. I have tested the third light and it works, thank goodness for that. But yeah, this is it's not, you know, it's not terrible, but it's not that much fun either. It's a lot more work than you would think, just to, you know, frame mount and get the spoiler bolted on. Anyway, I am going to keep moving and I'll be back soon. All right guys, we did it. So I test fit it and everything went well. So I went ahead and just decided to bolt everything up. I will say I had a little challenge getting the clips, those 3 red clips, to mate up on the bottom. On both sides, the bottom was difficult to get started. Once you got those, it slid up into place. Now I'm not 100% satisfied with this final fitment. It doesn't really seem to go any further on its own and stay, though. It doesn't clip any more than that, so it is what it is for now, but I don't think I'm going to leave it that way. This side is significantly better. I don't know why that side didn't want to clip in better, but neither of them are bad, but a little more work, I think, for perfection. Otherwise, I am freaking happy. It needs a bath so bad. That'll be the next thing. Bath, I am going to do some paint correction or just a little wet sanding and some polishing on the bottom of this, or I'm not 100% happy. I mean, there's one deep scratch that came with it. I bought it new from Weapon X, but it was a defect model, so I got like $300 off the price. And the defects are that one deep scratch, and this is really the only thing he thought it was, but there was a deep scratch too. But that right there, that looks so much worse on camera than it really does in real life. That doesn't bother me at all. The scratch underneath, I'd rather not have that. So we'll see if I can minimize it, because it's deep. It's probably through the clear coat, so I'm probably not gonna be able to do too much other than blend it a little bit. But here she is. I have the patch off. This little patch, I don't know if you know, but Grand Sports Z06s, ZR1s obviously, have front and rear tow hook receivers already built in from the factory, which is kind of nice. And I have tow hooks on the way. So I just went ahead and popped that out while I was working on the bumper. Everything else works. The third brake light works like a charm. It just felt really good to hear the car again. I missed it. But that is it. This is realistically a, I would say, 4 to 5 day project, guys. If you want to paint, definitely don't need to take anywhere near that kind of time if you're not going to paint it. But if you are going to paint, and I did, and unfortunately I can't really show you because, you know, that thing's stealing the show and takes a lot. But the paint came out really good. I used the 2K clear and the actual OEM paint. Believe it or not, this is rattle can. But 3 coats, spaced 10 minutes apart. And then same thing with the clear, and then I wet sanded the top to make it really smooth. In retrospect, I should have done this face here, not the top. The top is a mirror, and unfortunately, who gives a crap, because this sits on top of that. And I don't know what I was thinking when I spent the time doing the top and not the side. But anyway, if you're going to do the same thing, don't make that mistake. Do the backside. It really doesn't take a terrible amount of time. I started with 1500 grit, then went to 2000, 2500, and 3000. And it really made a mirror finish. At that point with 3000, you can just take a regular polishing compound. I used a 3M professional polishing compound, and I finished it out with Sonak's Perfect Finish. I really like that for, you know, many applications. GM paint is no exception. So worked really well. I love it. I love the look of it. I would have liked to have a little bit more rake, but I will still take this. So there you have it, guys. I'm just gonna get some tools thrown away on beat. It's about man, I'm a solid 3.5 hours in to where I started this morning. So I'm done for now, finished. I'm gonna enjoy it next time. I'm gonna wash it and take it for a drive after I figure out how to clean up this giant mess that I've created. Look at my poor Viper. Oh my gosh. She's going to need some love after this too. But thanks for joining me and going through this process with me, guys. Hopefully you learned something, or you'll be able to reference this video when you do this install, and it'll save you some time, because that's the biggest thing. You want to you don't want to take extra steps you don't have to. Sorry, my neighbor's mowing his lawn, but that's it. All right, guys, take care.
yeah.